Hello, hello, my greenskins. And today we're going to be talking about consoles. And consoles, the good stuff, not the bad stuff, not the 15 Xbox 360s, not the Joy-Con drifts, which I will confess exist. Weird enough, I power up my I plug my Joy-Con in. I plug in my Switch in, and it works fine. I unplug it, it drifts. I don't know what the fuck. Okay, so today we have with us a couple of the couple goblins from the horde. Today we have ourselves Citizen Kane from the Flophouse. We have ourselves a bushwhacker from the Flophouse, and we have
Yeah.
ourselves today uh, Logan from LDP Cinema. Someone I'm solely showing good movies to, so that he can fundamentally have great things that he gets to fundamentally have and enjoy. Instead of watching modern crap, I'm showing him the real movies. Opening
Yeah,
up his
for
mind.
example, I just got done watching Punisher 1989, the inferior movie to Punisher 2024, as noted by Rotten Tomatoes, the most trusted
No,
source.
no, yeah. No, it's Punisher '04, which has
Oh, is it
apparently a
oh
higher.
04? I thought you said it was 24.
No,
Oh
'04.
Lord.
Okay.
Yeah, the Disney Punisher. So tonight we're gonna be
Two.
enjoying. We're gonna be enjoying like the consoles that the great stories or fun stories with gaming consoles, and I'm gonna go through the round table here. So we're starting with me here, and I'm gonna talk about my tale of my Xbox 360 and how pornography bought my Xbox 360.
What? What?
The internet is
So
for porn.
So this is going to be fun. Okay, so I have a buddy of mine who's he has a couple kids, and he lives out of town. He lives way out of town. Like he lives in an area of town that's so far away that it actually takes a full day for him to travel in to get here. So when he comes to visit his mom, he'll come here and hang out. So he'll drop off. We'll drop off the kids, and sometimes we'll go late night. We'll go hit like one of the late night places and go have dinner or something like that. And he doesn't want to leave his kids with his grandparents because it's just like there's no room. They live in a freaking one bedroom apartment. It's kind of annoying to leave three children to him, his mom, and his grandpa and his uncle, who all live in the same fucking apartment. Imagine that's six people in a 2 bedroom apartment. Sorry, not 3 bedroom, a 2 bedroom apartment. That is a hell. So what he'll do is he'll drop his kids off here, and then me and him will go and go to McDonald's or go grab something to eat and stuff like that. Or we'll go out and hang out and do something. Maybe get him away from the kids, and he gets a place to put the kids, and the kids aren't going ape shit on the grandparents. So I had Shaw on Demand. So Shaw on Demand was it's a service, and it has this on demand thing where you press the on demand, and if you can figure out the passcode, you can buy movies,
Mm-hmm.
and they have special movies on there.
Oh my.
Oh boy.
Yeah, very special movies. So anyway, his two daughters are sleeping in the living room. His oldest is in my bedroom watching Shaw on Demand. He figured out the passcode. So what he was doing was click, click, punch, 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 punch. Ooh, porno, $9.99. Well, he was only watching him for a couple seconds. Now, the way apparently he figured it out at his home, that if he only watches for a couple minutes, he can get away with that, and he won't get busted, and they don't catch the price tag.
It's just like a 4-digit like passcode or something like that, right?
Yeah, it was
Like
it
kind of
was
like a
like
V chip, and kind of like the V chip on like older televisions.
yeah. It was something real simplistic. So here's the problem with this. When he punched, so when he figured this out, he figured the code out, fucking around. I guess he figured it out. Now, what he didn't know is that Shaw changed that. So what he was doing is he would watch like, a couple minutes of one porno, a couple minutes of another porno, a couple minutes of another porno. What he didn't realize is that they changed it so that it wasn't how many minutes you watched, it's how far you got in the porno. So where he's rapidly skipping ahead to register the thing, register this video.
Yeah.
So he skipped ahead and bam, that's $12.99.
Yep.
Another movie, bang, that's $12.99. Another movie, bang, that's $12.99. He racked up a $200.
Oh my.
Oh boy.
Yep. I had a $250 bill slowly lurking in the wings, and I had no idea that he had done that until I got up. When he came over, it's like, okay, yeah, we gotta go. He's taking the kids to the hotel room. And they're gonna crash out. So he takes the kids to the hotel room, and he's gonna crash out. Stuff's going on, good thing. He takes everything out. He leaves. I go to watch movies, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna watch a brand new movie. I haven't watched. I think it was Batman Begins. It's one of the. I was gonna rent a movie. I can't remember what movie I was gonna rent. So I punch in my code, and I see all these movies on demand. I'm like, adult, 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 adult. Now I'm not going to deny I have watched one or two adult movies. It was the style of the time back then when you didn't have internet. Adult,
Back in my
adult.
day.
Yeah, back when the Xbox existed. I didn't have internet. Yeah, I never really had internet. I never had internet for a long time. It was
You had to give it a little whistle to bust your pecker.
Yeah, so I'm like, adult. There's like close to 30 fucking adult films. I'm like, I never rented this. So I call the cable company and I go, holy shit, how much is this? And it's a lot of movies. It's a lot of movies.
A lot of monies.
So I'm like, yeah, that's like $250. I'm like, oh my God. So I call my buddy up and I'm like, dude, what the fuck did your kid do? He's like, what? There's $250 porno on here. And he's like, no. I don't think he did that. I can't see my son doing that. And I'm like, your wife is at home. I want you to do me a solid. Call your wife up and see if there's stuff on your Shaw on Demand. I know you don't use that because you use the internet and you just pirate stuff. Can you just like go and check? And so he calls his wife up because his wife's at home. She's having her girls' night, and he goes and looks, and she looks and she goes, "Honey, there's like 600 movies on here."
Oh no.
Like, cause they never checked.
Oh.
Yeah, he was watching. Now the funny thing is, like I said, at the time he thought he got away with it because I guess some kid told him that you'd get away with it, and at the time it worked. What he didn't realize that he put another a sane amount of money of porn, because when his parents go out every Friday, he would watch movies late at night in his room.
Oh my God.
Honestly, on-demand thing like sounds extremely generous as compared to like most things where it's just like you press the buy it now button, it's bought. Whether you like just watch the logos and go out, or whether you like watch the entire movie, it's like $4.99 or whatever to rent.
Hell, I remember when Redbox was a new thing.
Yeah. These were $12.99 movies, anywhere from $12.99 to $19.99 movies.
Like to own or just to rent?
Rent for 24 hours.
Fucking hell.
Wow, you must be like extreme gooner mind to buy like $90. Well, not even buy, rent for $90 for a day.
Yeah, I mean,
19,
I don't
not
know.
90, not 90, not 90, 19.
19.
Yeah,
that's still fucking high. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's still fucking high for like what, the 90s when the Xbox came out.
Yeah.
Like 360, so it would have been like mid late 2000.
05,
No,
05.
90s.
The original Xbox, not the
Original
360,
Xbox,
the one,
not the 360.
original.
Yeah.
Halo Combat Evolved.
So like early 2000s.
01.
Yeah. 01. Yeah. So anyway, I'm just like, what the fuck? And he's freaking out because he knows he hasn't done that. His wife knows he hasn't done that, and his wife starts counting up the tab, and she's like, "Hun, we're gonna get a stupidly high bill here." So he just fucking, I just start hearing this screaming at, like, he calls me and he's just like, yeah, we owe you money, don't we? He's like, yeah, I think I don't want to be an asshole, but yeah. So what they did was they gave him for his birthday a brand new Xbox brand new Xbox. And see, you got me saying it now. A brand new Xbox and about 30 games.
Oh shit!
Damn, what kind of money are these people made of?
Enough. Apparently not enough to like afford like $600 worth of porn, but enough to buy an Xbox and 30 games.
Which is likely around $300 to $400 worth of stuff.
No.
Yeah.
This was
like almost a grand, probably $2 or $3 grand.
Like the Xbox alone was probably like $300-$400. I would imagine. That's like
Xbox is $400. The games are looking at $64 a piece. You're looking at 2 controllers, and so he goes, well, because he's a gamer. He's a gamer too. He had a PS2. He had all the other consoles. He had a bunch of games. So he kind of bought it for himself, bought it for his son. It was supposed to be his son's personal console.
Uh-oh.
It was supposed to go into his room.
Well, he
It was supposed to be his.
He adult content himself out of it.
So his dad takes his console, takes his games, puts them all in a big box because he brought the console with him because they were going to play on it at grandma's. Takes all the games. Now I don't know if it takes all of it, puts in a nice big box, walks over to my house and goes, "Here." Oh, what's this? I owe you. I open it up. Brand new. The Xbox had only been used 3 times.
oh shit. So what you're telling me, the epilogue of this is you immediately plugged it in, modded it, and immediately installed Shaw on Demand on it.
No.
Halo Combat Evolved. That's the big thing at the time.
No. Halo was there, yeah, but I never played Halo. I was like, but he had he had a Halo. He had racing games. He had a couple other stuff.
Probably like Morrowind or something.
Yeah, no, I don't know if Morrowind was out at the time, but yeah, it was around the 2000-ishes. I know the Xbox had been around for a bit because there was quite a few games.
Okay,
but
so
the funny thing is,
03 then.
Yeah, around there. It was just funny though because he gives me the game, he gives me the console, and he's like, "Here you go, brand new. It's yours. Take it." I'm like, "Okay." So I got a whole bunch of controllers, everything I needed for a brand new console. Just kind of set it up in my place. And it stuck around until I bought myself I had to replace. There were a couple special edition games for the PlayStation I wanted, and they were Growlancer Deluxe, Arc Talico Deluxe, and there was like a couple other ones I wanted the special editions.
Arc Talico on Xbox?
No, PlayStation 2.
Oh.
So I ended up trading I ended up trading it to get a whole bunch of JRPGs that had just got. Yeah, so I traded in for some JRPGs, but it was so funny because
his son, that's a great game.
It is a good game, and it's like the Ultra Irish series. Like there were a lot of games I wanted that I ended up trading it for, but it was fun to get this console and just to see the kid. But Dad. Can I play it at his house? No.
No.
No, you cannot show your face near him again. He will. He will unalive you.
He got busted. He got busted doing that on his PSP. Like kid was a little gooner, and the kid got in
Wait,
so much
so
trouble.
I have a question. So I think the original Xbox came with like an 8 GB hard drive or something like that.
Mhm. Yeah.
My question did you ever check that hard drive?
No.
So
No.
we don't know
I
what kind of shit
believe-
might be on that hard.
I believe the original Xbox had a 20 gig hard drive.
What's really
Okay,
20 gigs? 20 gigs
Yeah,
for like because could you download shit on the original Xbox?
Kind of.
Oh yeah, you could.
I guess you would
Yeah.
have to. 20 gigs. 20
Well,
gigs
no,
is like
his
a
kid-
lot of storage for like the early 2000s.
Again, I don't know what this kid was like. I don't know what. I'll tell you this right now. He did nothing. He did nothing like it was always like big boob, big butts. I'm a big slut. Like those type of like super hardcore.
It's like really vanilla.
Yeah, it was very vanilla. We're not talking of like insane faces of death or anything stupid like
Whatever.
that. Okay. Yeah. We're not talking something nuts. So he was reprimanded. Like, and the funny thing is, he got in so much shit for that. Like, he worked that off for like months. From like, he actually had to take his paper route money. All his paper route money went to that. And it's funny because the paper route money was to go to get for him to get video games for the console. So
How
basically,
much does a paper route pay back then? Was it like $8 an hour or a day?
Oh no, I used to be a newspaper deliverer. It's not paid hourly. It's paid on commission.
it's paid on subscription.
I was
okay.
wrong.
That's why I asked. Is like, what is it?
So, like,
$8 for the day?
So if you had like 30 subscribers, it would be like I don't know, like $5 or something a subscriber. Or no, it would be like
you can make
like maybe like a couple cents a subscriber
if you do enough
every day, and then like it ultimately adds up to like $200 a month.
Yeah. If you had enough,
it's not a lot of money, but
no. Okay.
It's enough for a little kid.
Logan. Okay. It's enough that if you were to have, say, a couple streets, you could make about $200.
Yeah, what I made.
So if you were living in a Christmas Story, fucking Ralphie's neighborhood, you could make some good money there because there's a bunch of houses.
Yeah.
Like when I did it when I was a kid, I got like maybe like I had like anywhere between like 30 to 50 subscribers. I usually averaged about $200 a month, which again is not a lot, but for a kid, $200.
Oh, dude, $200! You feel like a millionaire when you're a kid.
Exactly. You're like 12 years old. You're basically.
I remember I worshipped the first quarter I ever got when I was like 3.
Yeah, exactly. It's just
so
$200. That's like 4 video games.
So.
Also, my apologies. The original Xbox had an 8 GB hard drive. My apologies.
Okay, I guess I was right. Yeah, like 8 gigabytes would have been 8 gigabytes would have been kind of pushing it like for 2001. Like most computers had like 8 gig hard drives.
It was a Pentium 3 computer practically.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, yeah, isn't that basically what it was? It was just like off-the-shelf computer parts.
We're worrying about the wrong shit at the moment.
Yeah, you guys kind of flew off. Anyway, so I'm going to talk about my next video game console thing because I think you guys just talked over your last video game console stuff.
Quick question, Chief. You remember when GameStop was all fucking green?
Yeah, I remember when EB was all green. Actually, EB was red over here in Canada. So next is Nightwheel. Give us your console.
I guess the first console we actually, I didn't buy it from a yard sale or anything. Me and my sister went together in on a Wii. We bought a Wii in 2007, less than a year after it came out. Our local Walmart just got a shipment. Actually, a couple of Walmarts in the area got a shipment. And I was telling, and Mom and Dad were going to go visit Grandma about an hour away. And I told Mom and Dad, the Wii is in stock at our local Walmart. Go there and grab it. They're like, oh, we'll get it when we get there. Like, no, they're constantly selling out. Grab it before you get out of town. They ended up buying the last one in the city near where Grandma was, and we played the tar out of that machine. I still have it actually around here. It's one of the few childhood consoles I still have. But it was such a fun machine, but we almost didn't get it because Mom and Dad thought they knew better than the person who'd been watching and hearing stories about them selling out constantly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a nice story. Logan, go ahead.
I got a story. So I actually totally forgot about this until Nightwheel mentioned yard sale. I was like, oh, I got a story. So I was at a yard sale, and yard sales, you could get to some decent shit at yard sales. When
you could back in the day. Nowadays, yard sales.
Yeah, exactly. Because now people know what these things are worth.
Not always. Not always.
Anyway.
Dude, yeah, not where I'm at.
I didn't go through most of Ort's story, all right? Anyway. So I was at a yard sale, and there was a house literally a block away from my house, and it was a Super Nintendo and a shoebox of I want to say about 10 games. I picked it up for $10. The only problem with it is that the power connector was frayed. Mm-hmm. So at first I thought it was at first I was like, wait, sometimes it'll turn on, sometimes it won't turn on. Eventually I worked out you just have to jiggle the cord and occasionally it'll turn on. So I just had to buy a new cord. I did that on eBay. I bought it for $10 and I sold it for $60. So here's the problem. And somebody pointed this out to me on Craigslist. Tried to warn me. Some of the games that were included were Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, Mega Man X3, and Super Mario RPG. One of those games alone I could have sold for $60.
Yeah, Super Mario RPG.
And Mega Man X3 too. That was also even back in the day, even when you could get NES games for $2 and a cup of coffee. I remember I paid.
Shit, bring back those times. That sounds like great time.
I remember I picked up I used to collect video games back when that was still an affordable thing that could be feasibly done. I used to I picked up Castlevania 3 on Nintendo for $10. Mm-hmm. And I've since sold that for 60 or 70, I think.
Yeah, it's a $50 game now, and it's absurd how they've changed the price tags on stuff.
Yeah. But I'm saying even back then, there were some Super Nintendo games that held their value, and two of those were Mario RPG and Mega Man X3, and I think also Link to the Past might have been worth something too. And someone on Craigslist tried to warn me, and I was just too late. I already sold that and everything. Actually, you know what's funny too is I sold it for I originally listed it for $50, and I think someone who knew better than I was just he's gonna get a lot of people chomping at the bit for Mega Man X3 and a console and a bunch of other games, because it had some other good games too. It had Congo's Capers, which is kind of funny because when that hit the NSO, everyone was like, what the hell's Congo's Capers? I know what Congo's Capers is. It's a kind of really good game. It's a sequel to Joe and Mac. Also Rock and Roll Racing, which is RC Pro-Am but arguably better.
That's actually worth money now.
Is that worth money now? I don't think it was worth money then.
It's worth money now. People want it now. The funny thing about like I said, it's an interesting idea with consoles where they're all over the place, and it's kind of funny how all this stuff kind of works, and how at one time, man, I could just tell you tale after tale of when I used to pick up games when I was
Hey,
yard
Chief.
selling back in the day. But anyway,
This-
Bob, you're next. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to ask you a question. What was the nickname for the fat lards who would always try to overprice shit? What do you call them?
I don't care.
You don't care? Okay. Either way, my old man, he always called them Jabba the Hutt because they're always trying to scam you. I don't even remember how I got my first Xbox. That was back in. It was the 360. That was the freshest console to me. I thought it was the coolest thing ever.
I needed something real quick to bash someone's head in, so I bought an original Xbox, and that did the trick. Those things were heavy.
Yeah, no, I never even touched an original Xbox outside of what my brother owned at the time.
Those things were heavy. Like, you could,
tank.
weightlift with them and get more jacks than that one kid's right arm. Anyway.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Bob.
I actually don't remember how I got my first 360, I'll be honest. Though the games that I got with it was it Call of Duty 2? Which was back in World War II. Nobody remembers those days back when you didn't have a sprint button. You had a pull binoculars button.
Yeah.
Yeah, you click left stick and you hold it to use your binoculars, which had like one use in
L3.
certain missions. L3, yeah. You click your left stick.
No, L3 was the sprint button. They had a sprint button in Call of Duty 2.
Not in Call of Duty 2. No, this was back when Captain Price was a new thing. They didn't have it.
No, they had it. I'm certain they had it. I'll put money on that. I'll put
no,
money on it.
They did not have a sprint
mechanic. Anyway, it doesn't matter. What were the other games, Bob?
The other one was actually one I really enjoyed. It was Medal of Honor Airborne. In the modern day, at least with PlayStation, I platinumed that game. I don't know what it's called in Xbox where you get all achievements. You play through the campaign, every difficulty, you get every weapon upgrade. And I even pull things like you old man, where it's like, hey, I got all the upgrades for all weapons. Well, I'm going to start over again because I actually enjoyed the second tier upgrade over the third for a certain gun.
Like how I just restarted another Crab's Treasure because the game's fucking amazing. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
It was like, I remember those days where I enjoyed a game so much that sometimes the level 2 upgrade for a weapon or anything is just better than the highest tier.
Yeah.
Because it has either a better DPS, a faster reload mechanic, like the MP40, for example. The second tier upgrade was Greased Magazine. It's faster than the Twin Magazine for the tier 3 upgrade.
Yeah.
So the story of me having
Dark
Xbox
Souls.
360 was my friend was a 360 gamer. I was finally pressured into buying it. I bought that and a Kinect, and I mainly just used it as a media device, and that's my story. I've never been an Xbox.
For the third game, it was Dark Souls. That's where Little Bob played the most. Little Bob understood what frame data was from that game. And I know a lot of people played the old Tekkens and Street Fighters to understand frame data. Dark Souls hitboxes were stupid, so you really had to understand certain frame data in the first one. And this was before updates. This was like fresh out of 2008 Dark Souls because I didn't have internet to get updates.
So I'm gonna tell a couple means. I'm gonna tell I'm gonna tell you about my favorite grandma and how she did one of the most meanest things she ever did to me for a game to a gamer, and one of the most funniest kind of fuck you things she did to me for another game. Okay, so first one. Okay, my grandmother bought me my first Super Nintendo, and at the time, Super Nintendo was almost brand spanking new. And she bought it with not Mario, not like it didn't have Super Mario World, didn't have anything else. You know, she got it off of another lady who got like she did the taxes for a lady, and she just got the Super Nintendo. It did not come with any games. It just came with the Super Nintendo, and it had 2 games in there. The 2 games were as follows: Draken, anybody who's ever played Draken.
Yeah, the Super Nintendo version. It's ambitious, but it's
brutal.
clunky.
It's
When you say
brutal.
ambitious, are we talking like Oblivion
It's
ambitious?
quite literally like a first-person RPG.
Bob, watch a playthrough of Draken. Watch a playthrough of Draken.
It's
for
a-
Super Nintendo.
It is
It
a
is-
first-person RPG that came out like launch era Super Nintendo.
Is it grid based, where like left and right you just rotate on the square?
No, it's like full 3D.
No, it is.
Full
It's
3D.
full 3D.
Okay.
Well, the
No, it's
overworld is
not.
full 3D. I think afterwards
No,
it becomes like what, a
it's
side scroller or something.
okay. Most people can't get past the first fucking 5 seconds at the first opening screen.
Really? Like the opening screen, not even the tutorial level, air quote. The opening screen.
Watch it. And the other
Oh, would it always crash?
No. You'll find out. Just watch. Go watch a live playthrough of people first time playing that game. Anyway,
Okay, what is it called
The
again?
other
Let me
funny
look
thing
it up
too
real
about
quick.
Draken is like you go.
Draken. Okay.
Anyway, Logan, that's not the point. The second
What's the other
one,
game?
the other game, was a golfing game that she wanted to play. She played it for 5 seconds and never touched the console again.
Well,
I have some legendary tales about how I got games for that console, but that's its own separate fucking story. The next thing she did to me. For years, I wanted a gaming computer. I've been wanting a gaming computer for a while now.
I got bad news, Chief.
What?
Sorry to interrupt. Anytime I look up Draken or Draken RPG, it just comes up with like a relay race from what looks like
Draken
the Olympics.
SNES.
Okay, I'll try that. Sorry. Go ahead.
Anyway.
It was a series. There were multiple Draken games. I
No,
think it started on like the Amiga or something.
Oh yes, it did. There's only two Super Nintendo games. Anyway.
Oh, I didn't know there was another Super Nintendo game. Okay.
Yeah, this is such a fuck you that my grandma did to me. For years, I've been wanting a computer. I've wanted my own computer. Because in a way, I want to have my own console for my apartment. I want to have my own place. I want to have my own laptop. Something that I could play.
Oh, so this was like when you were an adult by this point.
No, I was still a teenager because I had my own place, but we'll just leave that. We'll just leave that. We'll just leave the fact I was 16 when I had my own place.
Okay.
Anyway. Emotional damage. Anyway. I'm thinking to myself, I got you a computer. Make sure you have room. I got you a computer. I'm like, oh, thank you, Nanny. Oh, she got me it's brand new. I get it. I go downstairs to see the brand new computer she gave me. She got me a IBM 1984.
What?
Translate that for layman's like me.
That's
good,
old.
bad, ugly.
Okay,
1984. He said 1984, so this would have been like what, 20 years out of date?
No, more like mine. Yeah, okay. This fucker had enough. You couldn't even run Windows on it.
Yeah, you couldn't run like Windows 1.0.
Now, was this a grandma that you beloved, or was she mean?
No, the same grandma.
Okay, because I was gonna say, it's like if that's all she had, I'm not gonna be mad. But
yeah, I was gonna say, like, was she just like was she fucking with you, or did she just not know any better?
She was fucking with me. She
Okay.
purposely told me that she was gonna buy me this fucking computer, this brand new computer, and she got it at a yard sale for $5.
Yeah.
not exactly brand new, but
Yeah.
if it exchanges the hands, then I guess that is considered new by her definition.
Yeah, 1984 is what you need to. 1984, and this would have been like what, in the late 90s, so like 10, 15 years old.
I think it had 15 megabytes.
That's actually would have been quite a bit for 1984, I think, because like the Commodore 64 came out in like 82, and that had 64K.
Yeah. No, this thing was pretty. This thing was ancient. This was like I think it was 19. I think it was.
Oh.
I'm almost certain it was 1984. This fucker was so old that the screen was not fucking. The screen was like not you didn't have color. It wasn't a colored
It was like
screen.
green.
Yeah.
Are you confusing 15 megabytes of memory with 512 KB of memory?
Yeah, that sounds a bit more
I
likely.
have no idea. Again, when I got this
15
thing,
megs
it
would
had
be 15 megs would be like
hey,
you would be a
it
king
had
in
boys,
1984 for that.
boys. You're missing the point.
Yeah,
Focusing on the wrong
Yeah.
thing.
yeah.
Anyway,
No, I get the
this
point.
this
That
this
was
this
fucked
is this was like here you go. And this is also my grandmother who gave my cousin coal one day.
up. Okay, no, I'm
Like
sorry.
as not an ironic gift, like legit. Fuck you, Cole.
No, I'm
Yeah, she
sorry.
gave
That's
her
fine.
coal.
I'm sorry.
That
That's fine.
that yeah, she thought she was getting jewelry because she wanted jewelry. She wanted jewelry because she was getting older and she wanted jewelry and so she gave her fucking coal. So I get this nice 15 I get this nice little fucking thing. I bring it home. And now the funny thing is grandma thought to herself, "Ha ha ha, it's so funny." Ha ha. You know what I did with it? I turned it on and started fucking around with it and playing with it.
Yeah,
Hacker
and that's
man.
your origin story as to why you're into retro games.
No, I'm into retro games because I got retro games. I got an evil story, but I can't tell the evil story about how I got my Nintendo.
Oh,
Yeah.
you should lock that behind the Patreon wall.
I'm not telling that story because that story no one's in good light for that. That is one of the most fucked up stories out there.
Yo, Chief.
Yo.
I've watched 7 minutes and 20 minutes of Draken. This game would make me want to self-delete because too much is going on.
It's
I'm
ambitious.
I'm a
goddamn.
simple-minded peasant when it comes to what I want to do, but there is a lot going on in Draken.
It is
Yes,
such
it
an
is.
ambitious game. It's just like
Mhm.
they didn't know how to make all of that ambition, fun to play.
Yeah, it is. It's a better on the Amiga. Anyway, so that is my two thing consoles. Does anyone want to talk about that pure game, that one game, the Holy Grail of Holy Grail video games?
Uh, I don't know what that is, but
I don't know what you're talking about.
I can tell you about when I switched to PlayStation. And I could tell you the only
Okay.
reason I did, because it's still positive,
Okay.
until they revoked it. The only reason I went to PlayStation was because you did not have to pay for the online subscription, such as like
Yeah.
Xbox Live. Yeah, I
And
don't
then
even
with
know the
the
price,
PS4,
but
they
it's
they
like
made
free
it.
is better than having to subscribe to something. So I was introduced to get great games like Killzone, Jack and Daxter, all that through the PlayStation. Hell, even when my one buddy he was a neighborhood friend that lived across the street, we used to do like co-op, play this game where you played as monsters and destroy the city and you had to defeat each other. It was
Oh,
games
that
like
was
that.
War of the Monsters was the name of the game.
Yeah, and like one of them was an eyeball where its entire body was electricity or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I got that from my girlfriend gave that game to me as a gift. And
Somebody requested I
played
play
it.
We
that.
loved that game because we would always fight each
I-
other.
Yeah, I think
But
it was Logan. Yeah.
But yeah, the whole reason Bob chose PlayStation was it was free, and then the only reason I stuck with it because what was it? PlayStation 4, they eventually made it a proper subscription where it costs money. I told myself, it's like, hey, I'm already with the system. So instead of buying
And
an
they also
Xbox and having to start fresh, because at least they have what's the word where you can play older games on new shit?
Backwards compatible.
Yeah, it was backwards compatible. That's the reason I went with
Yeah, and like
PS4.
the Xbox One, they
I was
kind of
able to
like
play
has
Killzone
really good
3.
games for it.
And even if I was fighting against other bots, I still enjoyed the PvP in Killzone 3. It was just like, this game has a lot of class. I don't know what it is, but it feels legit.
So Nightwheel,
So
do you want to
that's
add?
why I still have PlayStation to this day, is
What
just
Yeah.
trying to save that progress.
what Grail game do you
Nightwheel.
speak of?
Is there a game out there that you went to great lengths to get your hands on, and it's just like that one key game?
I went out on my way to get a British computer.
So something that doesn't exist?
No, I have a thing for British software. So I've been wanting to play around with ZX Spectrum. I had one before, original Spectrum, but making them work in North America is fun. So when
you probably have to like turn it to like channel 96 or something.
No, it's NTSC versus PAL issues, among other things.
Oh yeah, that's it.
So what I ended up doing, and I ended up backing the second run of the ZX Spectrum Next on Kickstarter to the tune of over 400 US.
Oh, I know about that.
Quick question.
Not the Vega. The Vega was the Vega Plus was a nightmare. The Spectrum Next is amazing.
Oh, okay. No, that's okay. I got confused with that.
Bob has a question. Bob's raising his hand.
Yes.
Is this similar to what we talked about 2 podcasts ago about the Nintendo Switch having the region lock?
No.
Was this something you had to work around
No.
By the way, for any listeners, please check out that podcast.
How
boys.
the UK draw power.
Well, that
It's
and
the draw
also
power.
50 hertz
power.
video signal versus 60 hertz video signal.
Yeah.
Okay.
One's fundamentally slower than the other. You can't get a proper monitor for it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and that goes beyond like TV stuff as well. Like any sort of electronics, basically like they use a different standard of power of electricity in Europe as opposed to the US and most of the world.
Yeah, Logan, we both me and Nightwheel both just said. All right, keep going, Nightwheel.
So yeah, I mean, I went out of the way for that. Games I've gone on my way to get a hold of for one reason or another. I haven't been able to get
Question about the ZX Spectrum. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I have a question about the ZX Spectrum Next because were there like exclusive games for that thing? Because there's a core in RetroArch for ZX Spectrum Next.
Yes, it does have its own software.
Oh, okay. I gotta find that because there's a core in RetroArch specifically for that.
But yeah, it does have its own software because it is a FPGA computer that is basically 1-for-1 for the original Sinclair computers, but it also has a special mode that, in their words, what if the Spectrum was able to continue on long enough to take on the Amiga?
So like 16K, so like 16-bit Spectrum?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not the greatest, but it is still a little bit better than what we had. And again,
is it still 10 colors? That would be funny.
No.
Yeah, I think it is.
No, it's not. It has extended ULA mode is what it's called. The Spectrum X does not have the same color clash limitations. But
oh man, that would have been funny. Like imagine Doom but with ZX Spectrum color clash.
But funny you bring up the Vega. I actually have an official Vega Plus shell. No internals.
Like the plushie of the Street Fighter character?
No. Like the long story short, that nightmare of a Kickstarter and all the things, apparently a lot of the unfinished parts and pieces were left in the warehouse for like 3 years. Someone bought the leftover parts, so I actually have one of the actual console shells for the Vega Plus. No internals, but it's a 100% real Vega Plus shell.
So is this a console that didn't sell well?
It's a console that didn't exist.
No, Vega Plus existed, but dear Lord, was it... I will send you a video later. That's not even the full story.
Okay.
There's like a 2-hour-long documentary on like
we would have to this would take we would take all night to talk about it.
Yeah.
There's also I just want one last addendum to this. There's a Guru Larry video where it's him and Octavius Kitten, 2 people on YouTube. They got a hold of like one of the few Vega Plus, like the handhelds.
They
got
do.
a hold of
They
like,
do
one of the
exist.
very
Of
few,
some digital
and the
customers.
build, yeah. And
It's a
it, like
nightmare.
these,
It's
it
a
was so
nightmare.
sharp that they
Okay.
just like spent the entire.
So anyway,
I was gonna say, could we just translate it to it was like the Dreamcast? It existed, but not.
no, it's a night. It's
Yeah,
a
sure, why
nightmare.
not?
It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare.
The
It was a nightmare
Dreamcast.
situation.
The Dreamcast is at least thought of fondly. You didn't force
Yeah.
the
Okay,
brush.
fair.
Dreamcast is
I
a
think that's a
functional
great translation. That works for me.
Yeah, it's a functional console, Bob. Okay,
It's
so
basically like the Amico, if you know about that fiasco.
At
Like,
least-
No,
right.
I don't, but I don't need the details on that. We're moving on, Luther. Wait,
yeah.
sorry, Luther is his name? Something
Yeah,
like
that
that.
works.
Yeah,
That
Luther.
works.
Yeah,
That works.
no, Logan.
Luther Harkin.
Yeah, it works. It works perfect. Okay, so
It's Luther now.
so anyway, we again there are some good stories like that. Like I said, we're not here for the negative, and we want to talk about fucking bullshit shit. We'll do a separate video. If you guys want to see a separate video where we talk about the nightmare shit, oh, I got no problem talking about that. But
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I
Same
can tell
here.
a positive story.
Yeah. We're going here for the positive here. We're not going here for the negative. The negative.
I can
Yeah,
tell.
but-
I can tell you a positive story if you want to hear it.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I'd say shoot.
So this is kind of like the reverse situation of what I was talking about before, where I got a Super Nintendo. And the positive thing with that story is I did get exposed to some really cool games like Rock and Roll Racing, which I otherwise probably would not have. Well, I probably would have figured out what Rock and Roll Racing was eventually, but like growing up with it, playing on the actual SNES, it's a fun game. Anyway, kind of a reverse situation. I was able to get something that would normally be a lot of money for way cheaper. And I did so. This is a much more recent story. In fact, it was so recent that I had a YouTube channel when this happened. So I was not even like expecting to get this, but my dad like messages me, says, "Hey, there's this online like auction." And like by online auction, I don't mean like eBay or Facebook. I mean like an actual auction that also takes place online. Like you go to an actual auction house and pick up a thing, and it has like a number on it.
We gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
And he was just like, "Yeah, they sell like video games. There's this thing called Vectrex or whatever." My dad doesn't know shit about video games.
Whoa.
There's this thing called a Vectrex, and I was like, okay. Well, it's like what, like one. It's like what, like 100. It was like at like what 150 or something when I saw it. So I waited. I like set an alarm on my device. I was like, okay, this is probably, if this goes past like $200, if this goes past like $200, I'm probably not interested. Because I mean, like, I know like a Vectrex, it's really
question.
sought after. If you don't know,
No.
Oh, okay.
The Vectrex.
That was what I was going to ask. In one sentence, can you explain what it is? Okay, good thing. People want.
Okay, for those who don't know what a Vectrex is, it came out around the same time as like the 2600, the Intellivision, ColecoVision, like around that time. And its big selling point is that it had a built-in monitor with vector graphics. If you've ever seen like the original Asteroids or something like that, or like Night Driver in arcade, and it's like all the graphics are made up of these lines. That's what vector graphics is.
Yeah, I can see that.
So like they had like a vector-based console, and since like vectors aren't going to appear on like a traditional CRT monitor, it had to have its own custom monitor. So that's why I did that. And as a result, it just kind of has like this cool collector's. Anyway, so I got that. So anyway, I was like, okay, if it goes past $200, I mean, like, I didn't expect it to. I expected somebody would know what they're doing and they would try. We would get into a bidding war. No, it stopped at around $200, and I got a Vectrex for $200. For context, if I were to sell that Vectrex now, which now I also have like a multi-cart and a reproduction light pen, if I were to resell that now, I could easily double, possibly triple that.
Oh yeah.
I could easily make like 400. I could pretty easily make like $400 profit. So that is a
yourself. Yeah.
$200 is a steal for this thing.
Yeah, and it is actually a very, very interesting device. So, yeah, it's an interesting thing, and it's you can every once in a while it's interesting to get stuff like that. So, my famous tale is the Chronos Trigger tale, and I don't know if I brought it up on the. I know I brought it up on the podcast. I don't think I brought it up on the channel, and it is a very interesting thing for me. It's one of those I kind of love it and kind of hate it. It was one of those scenarios I've never been able to 100% ever reproduce this adventure. But it is my epic tale. And for me, Chronos Trigger is the holy grail of video games. Not because the game's amazing and it's almost a perfect video game. It is a game of, how to put it, the lengths I went to get this game are phenomenal.
Did you have to go across town or something?
No. I had to go across the city. I had to go to one end of the city to another and back again. To tell this tale, it starts off Christmas, Boxing Day.
This needs like epic medieval music.
Nightwheel could edit that in.
You put in the Oblivion soundtrack.
Oh, that's copyright claim.
Copyright claim.
Original or remaster?
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah, copyright.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this tale partakes me in getting up, and I'm going, okay, it's cold outside. It's -15. Which I'm not going to explain temperatures. It's fucking cold. Put it that way. Frostbite's around -10. Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say translation. That is about -10 Fahrenheit for American viewers.
No, it's not. That's way too cold. Anyway, it's near frostbite.
Okay.
So I put on a lot of winter clothes, and I'm just gonna walk down to one of the stores in the area, and just go down the store and pick up this game. It's go to a local electronics boutique. Well, it's actually at the time I think it was Zeller's. And so I'm going down to Zeller's, and I'm walking through, and it starts warming up. So I'm like, okay, this isn't so bad, minus 50, okay, it's about -8 now. It's not so bad. Starts snowing. This isn't so bad. Starts snowing. This isn't so bad. Fucking blizzard.
Oh.
So it's
snowing in
supposed to
Canada.
It's supposed to be like a 30-minute walk.
Okay.
Now I'm walking in a massive snowstorm.
Oh my.
I won't lie, if I could put my 2 cents in, that actually sounds kind of fun, but that's because I'm used to not having good snow.
Like, was there like a restaurant or a hotel or something near you? You could like wait out the storm.
I was actually where I was walking, because I was walking close to where I was going down the golf trail at the time, the golf links. And so the golf links that's just all a giant open field. And so I get all the way down, and I hit the first store, and I stupidly decided to cross the ice pack, cross the river. So I crossed the river.
Oh God.
No issues.
What? Oh.
Dude, it's Canada. It's fucking cold.
Okay,
I
but
get,
like.
I get up to this local. I get up to the local. It's called Game. It was called Game Masters. It was like a little like mini like hobby store.
Captain Ed.
I
Okay.
get there. I walk in there, and I'm like, "Hey, do you guys got Chrono Trigger? Sorry, we don't have that one." And it's like, shit.
Oh man.
So I go down. I walk down the street to the Zellers. Now we're into a full blown blizzard.
Wind's whipping.
Yep. So I am fucking. It is. You can barely see, and there's a lot. Boxing Day. There's still lots of people walking around. Like Boxing Day is a big. Back in the day, Boxing Day was a big thing. It's not as big as it is now. Like people just don't.
I know
show
it's a
up like
way
they
bigger
do.
thing in Canada. I don't think it was ever really a thing here.
It's
Yeah,
about. It was there. It was there. It still has.
I was
its
gonna
moments.
say, isn't it like the Canadian Black Friday?
No, Black Friday's Black Friday.
Well, Boxing
Okay.
Day is the day after Christmas.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's still popular, but it's not like, oh my god, this is the greatest thing ever. So anyway, this amazing weather just got worse and worse and worse. So my adventure was getting worse and worse and worse. I get to the Zellers. I am covered head to toe in snow. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get this game. It's not here. Fuck. I'm so mad. Now we have another Zellers, but it's all the way across town. So I catch a cab, and I'm going up in the cab, going up in the cab, going up in the cab. It's so bad that, and I'm unfortunately at this point, I have enough money for the game, and I have enough money for the pizza. It was like a game, I was gonna have a couple pizzas, kind of like order some pizzas, order some soda, spend. So I
You
had,
can't go
I had
wrong
some
with that.
money. Yeah, game and pizza. That's a fucking.
That soda's gonna
That's a
be
night.
like, that soda's gonna be a slushy by the time you get like home. It's gonna be frozen.
So that was the game plan. That was the game. No, I was just gonna deliver. So
Oh.
anyway, that was the game plan. Now, now I'm wasting money, my pizza money, to get this game. And we go down, we're going down. The guy goes to make a turn. He misses a little bit, slides a little bit, and we get tailgated. We get hit right side. This car goes flying into a ditch.
Wait, you go into a ditch or the other person?
The car,
The-
his taxi went ditching.
Oh.
Okay, so you're in the ditch.
I'm in a car accident. Yes.
Yeah.
Damn.
So
What-
we get out of the car accident. I start climbing out, and I'm like, "Fuck!" And the guy's freaking out. He's yelling at the other guy. It's two cabs basically hit each other.
Were you
So I
okay?
Well, it was kind of like the way they hit us, and because of how the snow was, it didn't do lots of damage. This would be car accident number 2, or no, this would be no. This
So like it did more damage to the car than it did to you.
Yeah, we basically got spun. I didn't get
Okay.
hurt. I didn't get hurt that
And
bad. So I
you're
got
already
up.
sliding on ice too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I leave. I go down the street. Boop, 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 boop. I start going. I go. I actually walk there. It's about now. I left at about early morning, 8 in the morning. By the time I got there, we're talking about around noonish now here. So I get to the other store.
Mm-hmm.
It's not there.
Wait, what do you mean it's not there?
God damn it.
Chrono Trigger's not there. So I get
Okay.
I get on a bus.
Free.
I get on a bus. Surprisingly, buses were still active. This bus driver is going down. I'm going to another store. I know a pawn shop that sells video games, but it's all the way across the other side of town. I'm going down. This bus hits a patch of ice. We end up almost off a bridge into a lake. We go down pretty close. So the car accident number 2 for that day.
Holy shit, man.
At this point, I would have just been like, you know what? I can buy the game tomorrow.
No. I'm getting this game.
He's already
I'm
like
at-
halfway through town. At that
fair
point,
enough.
I'd say,
You're already like well into this. You're buying that game.
Yeah.
as we say in the military, suck fuck. Just go there.
Yeah.
You're already
So
there.
I walk again. Now we're getting around 3-4 o'clock. I get to the one place. We go to the pawn shop. It's not there. They get new games every once in a while. Sometimes they don't. It wasn't there. I'm like, fuck, second car accident. I knew the guy at the store, so he gave me a game for free. He actually gave me a free game, so he heard about you're like, well, you were in the bus accident that was down the street? Here. Merry Christmas.
You know what the game was? Do you remember?
It's Chrono Trigger. Oh, the game was Mega Man 8.
Oh, well. Wow, wait.
I think it was Mega Man 8 or 7 or 8. It was one of the two.
Well, 7 was on Super Nintendo, so it might have been.
Yeah, Super. I think it was. I think it was 7. Sorry, I apologize.
Yeah, 7 was on Super Nintendo.
So this kid, so I meet my friend there, and he's like, "Well, there's this one store down the street." They're like, because they've been driving around town, going to all the places to get the Boxing Day sales. Well, there's one that's way down up near my grandmother's, but it's still a distance away. It's down near the airport. There's another Zellers. So I catch a ride with them. We don't get in a car accident, unfortunately. But
okay, I was gonna say, talk about a 3-for-1. Goddamn.
No. It's a 4-wheeler truck, man. He wasn't going anywhere. Chains on the truck. This guy lives out in the woods, man. This guy had a fucking
he Mad Maxed his truck.
Yeah. This guy's Mad Max. We get those redneck trucks every once in a while up here. So this guy. So we go down. We travel. Get to the store. It's still not there. It's about 5 o'clock now. I'm going home. I'm done. And I walk home. And snowstorm's even worse now. It's really bad. So I get home around 6 o'clock, get to my grandmother's, go downstairs. I go to, just sit down. I'm going to play this other game. I'm kind of sad because it's the thing. So my buddy calls me. He's like, yeah, I got Chrono Trigger. I'm like, where the fuck did you get that game? Oh, I got it at the store that's like, a 10-minute walk from your grandma's.
You telling me he got it like a fraction of a second before you?
No, he got it at 8 o'clock in the morning and has been playing it since 8.
Oh.
I went to the more known stores. He went to a store down the street.
That's big brain.
Yeah.
I thought to myself, why would a store that's been that's
He's playing Chrono Trigger, you're playing checkers.
Yeah. Here's what pisses me off about that whole situation. Why would a store that's closing down get brand new video games? That's what I thought to myself. I was like, how the fuck is the store that's closing down getting video games? So I rushed to that store. They have one copy left. Unfortunately, I spent a little too much money and was off by 10 cents. Guy looks at me, goes, "Merry Christmas, don't worry about it," gives me the game. I get home, I have no pizza, I'm starving, but I have the energy of Chrono Trigger. I played that game for 3 days.
You know it's just Chrono Trigger, right? Not Chronos Trigger?
I admit I don't know the difference. As far as I know, it's an RPG.
Yeah. So that is the tale. That is the Holy Grail. We're gonna end it on the Holy Grail.
Yeah, I don't think anybody can reasonably top that.
I'm about to say that the old man opening the files of forbidden knowledge here.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was.
I feel like after the adventure you went through, Chrono Trigger is just gonna be like, this is a piece of shit.
Oh, greatest game ever played. I fucking.
Oh yeah, I mean no,
game.
Chrono Trigger. I'm just saying, you went on an RPG journey. Like you leveled up, you gained experience.
Yeah, I will tell you this right now. After everything I went through, and again, the tale has somewhat changed as time goes on because I'm getting old and starting to slag out. But I still to this day remember that game. And I still to this day, when it's cold winter night and it gets cold, I play that game. because just in my brain, I have to play that game.
If you listen to the wind, you can still hear the bus tires screeching.
Yeah, exactly. I've been in too many car accidents.
I was gonna say I've been in one.
What does that say about your driving? No, I'm kidding.
Oh, I wish I would. See, it wouldn't bother me so much if I was the one driving.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so subscribe if you like this story. If you want us to talk about video game failures, like some of the kick
Oh,
scammers and stuff, and
boy.
some of the
Oh boy.
Or
that-
red rings from the Xbox days. I got some.
yeah, we can talk about that. We can talk about that, but like that's up to you guys.
I bought an Ouya and I loved it.
If we get 100 people watching this and we get a bunch of subscribers, we'll do that. All right, thank you very much, everybody. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time on Orc War Chief Reviews.